The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
TGIF, thank God it's Friday, and what a Friday it is. We thank you so much for being along with us. We're going to be here for a whole full hour because you're right now entering a show what we call the Coffee Hour, where we get to meet every Friday at this time, and we get together, have a little fun, a little conversation, cup of coffee, donuts, and whatever your heart desire, but enjoy it with us. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. We're going to be here for the next hour. And of course, we want you to stay around because there's so much to talk about. And those of you who've been around with us for a long time, you already know the protocol to the show, right? You already know that you're new or you're not new. Oh, for the people who are new, I'm going to talk to them. But you guys have been around for a long time. You already know the deal. Now, for the people who are here for the very first time, there may be a lot of them. We want you to know that we're here and we're going to be here for a whole hour. And as the host of the show, what I do is get things started, prep up what I'm doing now. That means I throw out a conversation just for starters to get things rolling. And you could elaborate on that conversation. And of course, you could make up your own conversation as we go along, because as we go along, you could chime in, use your keyboard, and say anything you want, even if it's just to say hi. Just type it right in there. I'll see you on the big screen. I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas because that's what the show is all about, free exchange of ideas and of opinions. Now, you guys have a lot of them. We want to hear about it because if it's important to you, it's important to us, and we want everybody involved in the show. So many things to talk about today. For all of you newcomers, we also want you to know that we're on two different platforms on the show live. We're live here on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, any one of those platforms will get you there. You can be anywhere you want. You get a chance to talk to us. So I'll be able to see you right when you come in. And we'll talk about anything that you want to talk about. Now, if there's any specific topic that you may want to elaborate on, don't be shy about it. All right. Let us know. Type it in and we'll share it with others. And perhaps we can make a big deal out of it. You never know. So don't be afraid. Just chime right on in there. A lot of people who are very brand new to the show may not want to chime in. They just want to sit back, relax, and watch the show, and that's okay too. But the most important thing that you're here, and we hope that you can stay here for the full hour. And if you can, then we appreciate the amount of time that you would like to spend with us. Now, there are some people in different parts of the nation, maybe at work right now. And if you are, maybe you're on your coffee break. And if that's the case, maybe that's about what, 10, 15, 20-minute coffee break sometimes you get if you're in the corporate world. I think you're allowed that. And if you do get that, that would be great. But what we're going to ask you to do is take that coffee break and spend it with us. I know normally during the week, you schmooze with your friends in the office as you take your coffee break and talk about sports or whatever you want to talk about. But what we want you to do is sit at your desk at your computer and watch the show and have your coffee break right there. And then when the coffee break is over, no one has to tell you to go back to your desk because you're already there and you can go back to work and do what they call multitasking, watching the show and working at the same time. That's what we want you to do. And you guys are hanging around at the water cooler, take your water and go back to your desk and enjoy it too. And anyway, we are so glad to have you aboard with us. And of course, we interact with you. Now, in conjunction with interacting with you, we do our own little thing. We have a thing that we do here each week just to keep the show afloat so you know what it's all about. And one of the things that we will present to you is sports. You like sports? Well, we can talk about that too. As a matter of fact, Brian Camp, coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, who's our sports director, sports guy, he comes in and brings you the latest developments in today's world of sports. He's going to be here in just a few minutes, within this half hour, as a matter of fact, of the show. And he's going to bring you the latest developments in today's world of sports. There's so much to talk about. The World Series is on its way in, I guess, in about another week or so. And of course, football season is here and all kinds of things are happening in sports, which he's going to be talking about, all kinds of great news. And if by chance you have any questions that you want to relay to Brian as far as sports are concerned, please get them ready when he comes in. Then he'll answer the questions. If he doesn't have the answer to all of the questions that you may have, uh, he will get the answers for you. So get them ready right away when he comes in, and you'll get a chance to see him if you're watching us on YouTube. He will be here live right on the screen. You'll get a chance to meet him personally. You'll see him right on the screen. But that's not the case for Facebook, not anymore. Um, if you're on Facebook, watching us on Facebook, of course, you'll get a chance to hear him. Whatever he says, you'll hear him. You'll hear everything he'll say with the sports. You won't be able to see him though, but you could still ask the questions, and he'll give you the answers. You ask the questions, we'll see you right there, and we'll relay all of the questions to him, the ones that he doesn't see, and then we'll be in business, right? So stay with us. Also, later on in the program, towards the end of the program, we have this thing we call the movies that we pick out for you. Now, each week I go into the vault of Turner Classic Movies, and I pick out the movies that are great for the week. My pick of the week for your weekend, because your weekend is coming up pretty soon. And of course, maybe you have a lot of other plans, but maybe one of the things that you want to set aside for yourself is sitting back, relaxing, and just enjoying some great movies, catching up on some movies you haven't seen in a long time. And that's when I come in, because that's when I'll give you my picks of the week from Turner classic movies too, sometimes black and whites, color, but they're all classics, and I'll relay them to you. And then you could add those to your list of what to watch this weekend in conjunction to the other resources that you may have for yourself as you go along and watch all of your movies. So we have all of that coming along, and all of those things looking good. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the coffee hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of YouTube, Facebook, and all of the publications, broadcast publications, and social media outlets. So, with that being said, what do we do each week? We lift our cups and we get started with the show, because, after all, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So, excuse me while I shoot up. Mm. Oh, that's delicious. I'll have a little more later. Hope you're enjoying yours. You don't necessarily have to have coffee. You could have tea, which is, they say, it's a little more refined than coffee, and you could have it plain tea, tea with sugar, tea with lemon, that kind of thing. No tea with coffee. You don't want that, do you? But whatever you're enjoying, enjoy it with us. And let's have a little fun with this show today. It is October, and it's the middle of October. Here we are, October 17th. And of course, all of you know that October comes in, and then when it goes out, then you have November, and before you know it, Thanksgiving will be along. Where does the time go? The summer months are over, right? We can forget about that, except if you're living on the other side of the world where you get your summer, it's just coming in, and we get our winter, right? That's how the world works. Summer on one side, winter, fall, and all of that on the other side. All right. And we're getting the side where pretty soon all of the weather is going to get kind of brisky. And of course, a lot of people are going to be bundling up. As a matter of fact, in New York, that's what they're doing now. They're starting to wear their winter jackets. So I went to the gym this morning, see people wear their winter jackets. Some people didn't get the message yet, because I saw one guy walking out with just a shirt and his backpack over his shoulder and just hustling along. But whatever floats your boat, but we don't want you to get sick or get cold or anything like that. Okay? Because that's not the way to go. And want to remind you, speaking of getting sick, and getting colds and things like that. That reminds me to tell you that it's the flu season. It is definitely the flu season. And what you want to do is try to avoid that. So, that being said, and I didn't even mention this last night on the show on Talkback Live, but I'm going to mention it now. The flu vaccinations are available now for wherever you are, no matter where you are around the world, around the nation, where the cold weather is taking place. It's the flu season. And so we have shots for that. We have immunization for that. So all you have to do is go to your pharmacist and ask for the flu shot. Now, not only is the flu shot available, also you have the updated COVID-19. It's all available now. And the good news is that you can take both at the same time, the same day, maybe in the same arm, however you want to take it. But you could take it together. They say it's safe, and if that's good for you, that's good. Some people would like to have the option of maybe doing that, or maybe just taking one shot at one time, and maybe about a week or two later, take another shot and make sure you cover. But the most important thing is that you should get it covered right now, and this is the time to do it. It's not too late. It's not too early right now. This is the time to do it. Now, usually these shots come out about the tail end of August, early September, right? That's when it usually takes place. And I usually like to take mine when September comes around, when the weather is not as warm and it's not too cold, just right. So when that vaccination kicks in, it'll be fine. And I think it takes around 2 weeks before it fully kicks into the body. But that's why you want to make sure that you get yours. And as I said, this is the time to do it. And so go to your pharmacist. Now, in some cases, you can go walk right in there and take it. I know we can do it here in New York. We didn't have that option last year or the year before that. But the option right now for us is that either we walk in and take it or we can make an appointment. You can go online and make the appointment. Now, not everyone has that option. Some people have, depending on where you live, some people have only appointments where you can take these vaccinations. Okay. And so if that's you, then I suggest you get on it today. Make the appointment. And once you make that appointment, keep the appointment. Please keep the appointment because you don't want to have to do it over again. You're wasting time. It's not like you could just walk in there and take it. That's you know, if that's the case for you, as opposed to other people like myself, I could just walk right in there. But if you're not one of the ones that are fortunate enough to be able to do that, then of course you want to make that point to make the appointment and keep the appointment. And when you do that, you'll be covered for the rest of the flu season and, of course, the COVID season too, as well. So do that right away. That's the available flu and COVID-19 is all available right now to you. And all this month long, we are celebrating a couple of things that are going on, and all this month, and for the rest of the month, we'll be talking about it too. It's Filipino American History Month. Okay, now if you're from the Philippines, and we do broadcast in the Philippines, if you're under the sound of my voice right now, it says Filipino American, but listen, you're Filipino. You join into the party just as well. And if you're an American, Filipino American, you may be in a community where things are taking place, celebrations, or all kinds of great events that you want your fellow Philippines to enjoy. And I'm not Philippine, but I want to celebrate with you as well. And if you know all such activities that are going on, please type it in there so I can see it and we'll pass it along to others. Because if you're living on the other side of the world where the Philippines, and then you're here in America, maybe your friends from the Philippines may see this and they may know something on what's happening. And also, if you want to talk about the history of the Philippines, welcome to do that too. It's all open right here. It's open forum here. Also, we're celebrating a Polish American Month. The same thing. Now, if you're an American and you're Polish, we welcome you. And not only that, we celebrate you as well. So again, if there's any community activities that's going on in your area in the Polish community, please feel free to let us know about it. And especially if you're living in New York, all kinds of celebrations happen in New York. We have the Polish American people here in New York, particularly in the Greenpoint area of Brooklyn. where I went to school when I was a boy, uh, they celebrate. So if you know any activities, anything at all in the community, let us know. Just keep it right there. Want to draw our attentions to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, too. All right, this is a month set aside for that. We all know about that. And we see people walk around with their pink ribbons on their lapel or any part of their garments that they wear, supporting this because it's very important. It's important because we all have loved ones. We have women, men too, you know, can develop breast cancer. And so we want to set this to a side. So make sure that everyone is aware of that. And if you need more awareness, all you have to do is check out your primary doctor, let them explain to you what it's all about, or you can just Google it yourself and get more information about it. Research, it's very important. Any cancer at all is not a good thing, but set aside, this is what we have to for you to understand. National Fire Prevention Month is at hand as well. That means, of course, the summer is over, but in some places the weather is still warm and outdoor activities continue, such as cookouts and barbecues and things like that. That talks about fire, and you make sure that when it's all over and done, make sure that fire is out completely. If you're working with making fire with coals or anything, make sure that you just drown it out. You don't want to leave a trail of fire. You don't want to leave a paper trail where someone will track you down because you caused a fire somewhere, whether it's in the forest or in your home. You don't want to cause any fire. So that's what we're bringing attention to, National Fire Prevention. And also, it's National Seafood Month. Oh, yeah, National Seafood Month. And of course, last weekend, I had me a little clam bake, a little private clam bake at home with all of the seafood I can eat. All of the seafood you can eat. And you don't have to have a, a date set aside to actually enjoy seafood. You can do it anytime you want. But this is it, National Seafood Month, right? And so clams, oysters, shrimp, the whole 9 yards. Shrimp on the barbie. Don't forget, in some places the weather is not cold yet. You can still have shrimp on the barbie. And also, it's today, ladies and gentlemen, this is a good note. It's Black Poetry Day. Maybe you're a poet. I'm a poet and don't even know it. But if you're a poet and know it, you have poems or anything like that to share with people, uh, maybe you want to contact us and let us know that, sure, I'm a poet and I'm performing at a certain place, and let us know where it is if you're a Black poet. And but this is just set aside for today. Okay, so we just want to talk about that. National Mammography Day. That's your mammogram, ladies. Of course, you're taking that, I hope. This is just a day to remind you about it. And this is the day, maybe this is the actual day where you have to go check it out for yourself. Don't hesitate to do that. Remember, there's no price in good health. All right. So even though your insurance company pick up the tab and you have to pay a copay, there's no price in that. You want to live as long as you can, right? And finally, it's National Pasta Day. Spaghetti, linguine, ravioli, all of that, lasagna. All right, all of that's there. It's National Pasta Day, so have your pasta. Pasta is filling. It stays with you for a long time. That's one of the good things about pasta. You eat pasta, it stays with you for a long time. So that's what's happening today, and that's what's happening all month. We thank you so much for being along on this day, on this what we call this glorious Friday. And of course, it's the coffee hour. And we're so glad to have you aboard with us now. You can be watching us anywhere right now. You can be watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Not Instagram, because we're not on Instagram anymore. I'm sorry to say that. We're not on Instagram anymore. But we try. We try. We lost Instagram. Those of you who didn't know, or those of you who weren't in contact with us as far as that goes, no, we're not with Instagram anymore. But that's one of those things that happen, and one of the things that we're going to work on trying to get another platform going for us whenever we can. But nevertheless, that's where we are right now. So we're glad to have you aboard with us for this Friday. And it's the 17th of October. It could be your birthday. It could be something that you're celebrating. We don't know. We don't know what it is. But we welcome you aboard, and we thank you for being with us. And we hopefully that you're having a marvelous time. Okay. Now, those of you who are with us and you want to enjoy conversation with us, we urge you to do that. We really urge you to do that. But this is the deal. Um, in your conversation as you join us, give us something of a weather forecast that you may have. All right. If you have a weather forecast that you would like to relay to us, it doesn't have to be full blown. It could be something simple, like the emoji, cloudy emoji, sunny emoji, or whatever the deal is. We look forward to it. But those of you who live in New York, you don't have to worry about it just yet because I'm going to take care of that local weather forecast for you in New York City, which I'm going to do right now. And in New York, we don't have a bad day at all, and the weekend is not going to be bad at all either. The weekend looks good out there. As a matter of fact, what we have presently is 55 degrees outside. It's 55 degrees and sunny at the moment. So if you're under the sound of my voice, you can leave the umbrella home for the entire weekend and go about your business and have a lot of fun. So let me get started with the weather forecast right now. The weather forecast, we have abundance of sunshine today. We'll have a high around 64 degrees. Winds will be north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It'll be clear skies tonight. We'll have a low of 48 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. And we have sunny skies for Saturday. Sunshine and clouds mixed together on Saturday. High 67 degrees, winds light and variable. Still no rain in the forecast. And mostly clear. For Saturday night, we have a low around 55 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. And as we rest for Sunday, now look at this. This is the highest that we go temperature wise, 72 degrees, intervals of sun and sunshine for Sunday, high 72, and winds will be south southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And repeating our weather forecast right there, it's still 55 degrees outside. And it's lots and lots of sunshine. Good morning to Mary Reed out there. Mary, thank you so much for joining us. Mary is watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much. And now we're going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina, because Brian Camp is right there right now with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And if you have those questions, of course, you just related them to him. He'll answer them the best way he can. So we're almost coming up to the World Series, Brian. What do you think?
First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be around the world. But no, I'm not in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm in Arlington, Virginia. That's where I'm at right now. Here for a conference. So I'm here to give you my thoughts, my information, and just say about the World Series. Well, I'll get to that in a second. But I want to talk about that owner for the Dallas Cowboys again. He's up to the last week I reported that he's being investigated for making an obscene gesture to fans after a game against the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium. Well, it catches up to you. He got caught and he's been fined $250,000 as he received the week from the NFL. The NFL decided we're going to have to do this to you. Even though $250,000 is not a lot of money, to him, that's just paying a tip to somebody. So instead, he's going to give it to his favorite charity. So, well, if you keep on making these obscene gestures, you're going to be regarded as a very giving person. But keep on using these letters, these finger gestures, hand gestures, and you're going to be paying a lot. And you won't no longer be a billionaire. You're going to lose your team. But anyway, the NFL decided that to fine him, and he said he's not going to fight it. Said he's going to give the money to the charity that needs the help needed. Okay. In the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks signed Alex Antetokounmpo to a two-way contract Octagon managing director Alex Sacertis. Now, Alex is the youngest of the Antetokounmpo brothers, who joined his two older siblings, Giannis and Thanasis, in Milwaukee. It marks the first time that the NBA that has three brothers who are signed to active roster contracts with the same team. Speaking about the World Series, well, we're getting closer and closer to deciding who's going to be going to the World Series. The Los Angeles Dodgers, who are drawing closer, took a 3-zip series, 3-0, versus the Milwaukee Brewers as they won last night. And the Toronto Blue Jays even their series with the Seattle in the ALCS 2-2. The winner of this series would probably more than likely will face the LA Dodgers. The LA Dodgers are up 3-0. We don't know. I don't know if any other team came back from 3-0 down. Yes, it happened in recent memory. The Yankees were up 3-0 to the Boston Red Sox, and Boston came back and won their series. It wasn't a World Series, but it was a playoff series. So that's where we stand. In sports, on this day, October 17th, 1885, that's over 100 years ago, baseball sets all players' salaries at $1,000 to $2,000 a year, and that was for the 1885 season. That wasn't a lot of money back nowadays, but back then it was a lot of money. 1971, the Pittsburgh Pirates defeated the Baltimore Orioles 2-1 in 7 games. The World Series, Roberto Clemente was World Series MVP. In 1974, the Oakland A's defeated the LA Dodgers 3-2 in 5 games to three-peat. That's when the A's won their 3rd consecutive World Series, and the dynasty was officially was over after that, because that's when 1975, that's when Charlie Finley broke up the team, the championship team. Raleigh Fingers was World Series MVP. In 1982, Robin Yount, first player to have 2 4-hit games in a World Series. He had 4 hits in 2 of the World Series games that he played in. That's a record. 1989, earthquake in San Francisco, 6.9 on the Richter scale, cancels the 3rd game of the World Series. That earthquake killed 67 people. Remember, back in '89, they had to cancel some of the postponing the games of the World Series until they got everything straightened out. But that was 67 people lost their lives during the World Series. 1992, the first Major League World Series featured non-American teams. The Toronto Blue Jays, who won, was in Canada, still in Canada, defeated the Atlanta Braves. Birthdays on this day, 1924. Happy birthday to the late Don Coryell, who was known as Don Air Coryell, for his coaching style of his relentless offense of throwing the ball on every down. He was a college and NFL coach for the San Diego University and the San Diego Chargers. He was born in Seattle, Washington. 1928, Jim Gilliam, Major League Baseball infielder and coach of the Dodgers, was born in Nashville, Tennessee. 1957, Steve McMichael, defensive tackle, Hall of Fame, Super Bowl champion for the Bears, was born in Houston, Texas. And in 1966, happy birthday to Danny Ferry, an NBA 2003 champ, was born in Hayesville, Maryland. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a very chill, cool day here in Arlington, 54 degrees, as we say, as we come up with this cool temperature here in the fall of October. 54 degrees, but sunny, going up to 66.
Yeah, we got 55. We got 55 too here in New York. So we feel your pain. We feel your pain over here. Yeah, what is your position on this one? I know the World Series is coming up, but who do you predict? Who do you predict that's going to actually be battling in the World Series? You see any foresight in that?
Unfortunately, it is the Dodgers. I would like to see the Blue Jays play against the Dodgers. The Blue Jays will probably give the Dodgers more of a fighting chance. So I'd like to see the Blue Jays, not because they're from Canada, it makes
Yeah,
it even more
yeah,
amusing to if they was to play the Dodgers and beat the Dodgers, but it's going to be Toronto and the LA Dodgers.
yeah. Well, that was my pick too. That was my pick too. I just never say it out loud. I was in the gym today. I was talking to one of my gym mates, and I told him, I said, I believe that the Dodgers and I said I would like to see the Blue Jays going. I didn't say that they were going to be. I said I would like to see the Blue Jays play if the Dodgers happen to get into it. But the Dodgers are looking good right now, like it or not.
Well, I don't like it, but yeah, they are looking good though.
And they if they win this last game, right? They just practically in. You know, if they win this last game, they're in, and we'll just
It's
have to
probably
see.
going to be a clean sweep. It's going to be a clean sweep because
Yeah,
they're home, so they're probably going to wrap it up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens anyway. Again, we want to say peace and love to Jerry Jones. Peace and love, Jerry Jones.
Yeah, just make sure you just keep your fingers down, Jerry Jones. We don't want that middle finger to come up again or make a obscene gestures with your arms and your fingers and your
Yeah,
hands because it may fine you. But if you want to do it again, I'll give you a charity that you could give. So it's the Brian Camp Foundation. Okay. Okay. Just make that one of your favorite charities and just give it to my foundation.
how old is Jerry Jones?
Oh, he's in his 80s.
Oh, you
So
see.
I don't know how old exactly, but he needs to
Yeah.
sell that team. He needs to
Well,
sell it.
I guess he has
But
nothing to lose by doing what he does, you know.
yeah.
I guess I don't know. Anyway, okay, Brian.
Mhm.
Well, I guess you head back home to Charlotte tomorrow morning.
I leave in tomorrow around noon. I should be back tomorrow night in
Yeah,
time for the NFL games. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Okay.
may your team win, whoever they are. We'll catch you
Well,
back in
my
next week.
Dallas Cowboys,
Dallas
we don't know
Cowboys.
about my Cowboys, but I'll be cheering for them. So anybody out there that I know that might be out there,
Oh, that's right. You don't have monitors to where you are. Whenever you're on the road, you don't see anybody. Mary's out there. Mary's out.
hi
Mary
Mary.
Reed is out there from Brooklyn, New York. That's
Yeah.
all I see right now. You know, uh,
Okay.
but
Okay.
she's
Well,
out there.
everybody, Mary and everybody else, enjoy your weekend. Be safe. And it's Friday, so kick off the weekend with the with a bang. That's all I can tell you.
Bang with a bang. Okay, good enough. All right, we'll catch you back here next
All
week.
right.
Take care. Have a good one.
Take
That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's here each week at this time. Of course, he brings you that. And of course, you're always welcome to ask questions about sports. If there's something that you don't know and something that you would like to know, feel free. I mean, you could relay your questions right now, and I can get those questions to him. If you're just joining us now and you didn't get a chance to, I can get those questions to him, and then he'll have the answers for you when he comes back next week. And of course, um, we really appreciate everything that he does for this show too, as far as sports are concerned. And of course, there's a lot of sports this weekend, as you already said. NFL is on the move. We'll see what happens in the World Series. But if the Blue Jays get into the series, that makes my attention span even more for the World Series coming up. So I'll be paying a lot of close attention to that. I know Brian clearly states that whoever wins the World Series, it's not going to be the Dodgers. That's not what he wants. But we'll see what happens. You never know. They're on a roll right now. All they have to do is win one more game, and they're in. And they'll just have to wait to see who's going to face them in the World Series, which I think is in about another week, right? I think next week or so, something like that. Not sure. Gotta look at that. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And we're going to be with you for the balance of the hour. We're so glad to have you with us. Stay with us. again, if you go onto my website, which is, if you're on YouTube right now, you're watching us on YouTube right now, uh, and if you haven't done it just yet, this is the time to do it. There's no big strain. All you have to do is just take your mouse and drag it over there where it says subscribe and click onto it, and that's it. A lot of people hesitate to do that because that word subscribe sounds like money, right? But in this case, it has nothing to do, no financial support for us, nothing like that. All you have to do is just click on, and that's it. That's all we ask, just to click on, because we need to support that way. All right. And we want to find out who's watching us, who's taking care of us, who's out there. That's the purpose of that. And the other purpose is now that you clicked onto it and made yourself full fledged, that means that each week, just in case by any chance you forget or you're a little late getting onto the show and you're doing something else, you're online, an instant message will pop up letting you know that the show is on the air. And all you have to do is click onto that and it brings you. That's the benefit of doing that, of having, being a member and using the subscription to help you out with that. And so please do that and tell your family and friends to do the same thing. Get them on board. We like everyone. The more, the merrier. You know, you have a lot of friends, you know, that you know. We have fun here. Have so much fun doing the show, and we hope that you have fun watching and taking time with us each week at your leisure time. It's your time, but we thank you because your time is your time, and if you take your time to visit us, that means a lot to us. You could be doing something else, but it means a lot to us that you do that. And we hope that you come back again and again. And that's why we invite all of you to tell your friends about it and get them on board as well. Anyway, we've got time uh, uh, for the show. We got a little more time, and we're going to be here, as I said, to the top of the hour. Okay, as you already know, and we mentioned it on the show last night. You're probably aware of that. If you were watching Talk Back Live, we mentioned it on the show last night that the in the United States we have what do we have in the United States? In the United States, we have a government shutdown going on. We already know about that. A lot of people know about that, and that's taking place right now. And we're into the 17th day of the shutdown. Now, I don't know. A lot of people say it's been a long time coming, and some people say they knew it was on its way. Remember how close we came to a shutdown in previous times, and they always got to the table in time to make things happen. Well, this time around, it wasn't the case. When the shutdown occurred, I wasn't here. I was on the road. You know, we were in Italy as we did the broadcast from there. I was on the road there, and then that's when we heard about there was an actual shutdown. All right, and that happened on a Wednesday, and so this is going on the third week, coming up to the third week, and by golly, no one is there to talk about it. Everybody's on vacation, doing whatever they're doing, golfing, skiing, or whatever they're doing, right? Instead of being at the table to work things out, they're out there doing their thing. And in the meantime, fingers are being pointed here, fingers are being pointed there, and no one wants to give in, you know, and for good reason, because there's a lot of things at stake when this government is shut down. You already know that. You know, all of the offices are shutting down. They shut down all of the offices and all of the parks and all of these things that have to do with the government. And a lot of people are working for nothing. Government people, government workers, a lot of them on the job making absolutely nothing. They're just working and not getting paid for it. And the ones that don't show up, of course, you know, they're very important and just as important as the people who do show up, but they choose not to show up. They call in sick or whatever. And there's a lot of important jobs that has to be tended to when the government is on strike. And one of the things that I emphasize the most is the airports, the air traffic controllers. You can't go anywhere without air traffic controllers. You know, you want to get where you're going safe, which was one of the reasons why we had concerns about on the way back from Italy. You know, okay, Um, we got to board the plane, and the government is shut down, and we're praying. We have our fingers crossed. Are we going to get there safe? Are we going to get there on time? Is our flights canceled, or do we have to wait on the delay or sleep in the airport for a couple of days? We don't know. We didn't know, but thank God we got there safe. We got there safe. Back to New York safe. But I understand now there are certain things are happening. Airports are delayed, flights are delayed, flights are canceled. People have to cancel their vacation. That's a bad time. People are still taking vacations, and there's no summertime that you have to take the vacation. You can take a vacation anytime. People are off to vacations right now as we speak, you know, wondering if they're going to get there, wondering if their flights are going to get them there on time, or do they have to sleep in an airport for a couple of days? These are the things that people concern themselves about when the government shuts down. And so I'm urging all of these people, Republicans and Democrats, get it together and, you know, get off the dime and get this government back on track. As you already know, the last government shutdown that we had was for 30 days. And here we are, 17 of them right now in this month. The shutdown started the first day of the month, and it's going on still. And there's absolutely no relief in sight for this government to reopen. Nothing is happening because no one's in town. No one's in Washington. But you got to remember, you have to eventually come back to do your job. That's what you're getting paid for, you know. And so I urge both sides of the aisle, government, Democrats, get together the way it was intended to be. It's not that way now, but this is the way it should be. I mean, back in my day, a long time ago, Republicans and Democrats, they were always at odds. The only difference is that whoever won, whoever got into the White House, or whoever hold the office, or any particular kind of office they did, they had between parties. At the end of the day, at the end of the night, when the lights went out, we were all Americans. That was the most important thing. We weren't Republicans, we weren't Democrats, we were Americans. And that's one of the things that we lost in this country today. We're no longer Americans. We're fighting instead. You got a big war. By the way, he's talking about the war, looking for that to wrap up. But the good news is that a lot of the hostages were relieved back home. I didn't mention that on the show last night. I should have, but I didn't mention it. But I'm mentioning it now. I'm so glad that some of they're back. They're back. And I am going to give that to the Almighty who made all of that possible. Because you have some people, human beings, or they call themselves human beings, that want to take credit for that and didn't do a damn thing about it in the beginning anyway. So thank God for the hostages that are back with their families and having dinner and breakfast and lunch together as they did a long time ago. So that's the deal right there. So waiting for all of this to happen. We're getting sick and tired. We're getting sick and tired. People are getting sick and tired with this government, and they're getting sick and tired of this administration. The only people that won't say anything about this administration are the people who are drinking the Kool-Aid. You know who you are. He's the greatest person since sliced bread. I mean, who believes that? If you want to believe that, and if you actually believe that, then I could sell you anything. I'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge if you want. I own it. Do you believe that? Of course not. Okay, Diane Keaton, the legendary actress known for her Oscar-winning role in Annie and iconic performances in The Godfather and The First Wives Club, has died last Saturday. Keaton rose to fame in the 1970s with her role as Kay Adams in the Godfather films and her acclaimed collaboration with director Woody Allen, including Played Again Sam Sleeper and Annie Hall. The latter, which earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress in 1978. And no other information about a cause of her death was immediately available. She was 79. R&B legend D'Angelo, whose real name was Michael D'Angelo Archer, has died. His family confirmed his death on Tuesday. D'Angelo's family said The Academy winning artist died Tuesday after a prolonged and courageous battle with pancreatic cancer. And his family asked for privacy and that his fans join us in mourning his passing while also celebrating the gift of song that he has left for the world. D'Angelo was 51. Rock icon Ron Wood and Rod Stewart could be reuniting with their legendary band, The Faces. Wood revealed during an appearance on BBC Radio 4's Desert Island Disc that the two longtime collaborators have been back in the studio together, revisiting unfinished songs from their early days. News marks the closest Faces have come to a comeback in decades. The band, best known for their 1970s hits Stay With Me and Ooh La La, broke up in 1975 after Wood left to join the Rolling Stones, but it appears their friendship still stands. Stephen Colbert is in demand these days following the news of his late show cancellation. The Emmy winning Funny Man made a virtual appearance doing Saturday's Star Trek Universal panel at New York Comic Con to announce that he's voicing a role in the franchise's upcoming show. The show also reveals its new trailer and Paramount Plus premiere date during Saturday's panel. The first two episodes premiere January 15th, 2026 on the streamer, which is owned by CBS, the same company behind Colbert's Late Show, which is coming to an end next year. Pepe Aguilera, Gloria Estefan, and Karen Leon, and many more have been revealed as the first lineup performing artists of the 26th annual Latin Grammy Awards. It's happening November 13th in Las Vegas. The 3-hour telecast will air live from the MGM Grand Garden Arena, where it returns after its homecoming show in Miami in 2024. Mark Moran released the final episode of his WTF podcast on Monday with a surprise guest, former President Barack Obama. It came more than a decade after Moran first made headlines by having Obama, then at the time sitting president, to come to his garage for an interview. Now, this time around, Moran flew to Washington, D.C. to interview Obama for the final show and turned to the president for advice about stepping away from a high-profile gig in which the public relies on your presence and voice of reason during troubled times. Birthdays today, we have a long list of them, so get ready. Actress Felicity Jones is 42 today. Rapper Eminem is 53. Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC is 54. Singer Ziggy Marley, the son of Bob Marley, is 57. Country singer Alan Jackson is 67. The late Howard Rollins, actor Howard Rollins would have been 75. Actress Margot Kidder would have been 77. Actor George Wendt of Cheers would have been 77. Actor Michael McKean, who played Lenny on Laverne and Shirley, is 78 years old today. Singer Gary Puckett of the Union Gap, he's 83. And stunt motorcyclist, the late Evel Knievel, would have been 88. Journalist Jimmy Breslin would have been 97. Actress Beverly Garland would have been 99. Actor Tom Poston of Newhart would have been 104. Actor Montgomery Clift would have been 105. Actress Rita Hayworth would have been 107. Playwright Arthur Miller, who was once married to Marilyn Monroe, would have been 110. Jazz drummer Cozy Cole would have been 116. And actress Irene Ryan, who played Granny on the Beverly Hillbillies, would have been 123 years old. So we say happy birthday to all of the people who are celebrating and still alive today. Happy birthday, and many, many more. We also would like to remind all of the viewers about the birthdays of the people who are no longer around with us, as we already stated already. But they left us a wonderful legacy, and we're always going to remember them each time their birthday come around. So happy birthday. And if you're celebrating a birthday anytime soon, please don't be shy. You need no alibi. All you have to do is just let us know if you don't want to do it yourself, because you can come on live, as people do, and they type in, "Oh, today is my birthday." And if you don't want to do that and you would rather us to do it for you, we have no problems doing that. All you have to do is make sure that you contact us. Be proactive. We have two ways of doing that. We have an email address and we have a telephone number. I will give you the email address first. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. I always elaborate on that because there's different ways of spelling Allan. I want to make sure that you get to the right place. Allan. Prod is Prod. That's short for productions. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641 715 3900, extension 467134. That's 641 715 3900, extension 467134. Keep in mind, you do not have to have a particular reason to contact us, and it doesn't just have to be a birthday to contact us. You can contact us for various reasons. For instance, first, maybe you do have a birthday. The other, maybe you want to talk about this show, or maybe you want to critique the show, or maybe you have ideas about this show, or maybe there's a community event in your area that you would like to promote, or if you have a business you like to talk about, or you like to learn about business, or whatever it is that we could help out with. Feel free. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Email, you can do that all day long. Whether you get a response from your friends or not, that's something else. But we always respond to you because you take the time out to contact us. So the email is there, the telephone. When you call us, you leave a message. And of course, we'll get back to you if you like. And feel free to talk about anything you want to talk about when you call us, even if it's just to say hi. You're not wasting our time just to say hi. We love when you say hi. That's very important to us. That's a treasure, and it's a privilege that we get that kind of feedback from you. So do that today, right? And pass it on to your friends, and keep all of that information in your electronic devices, such as your computer, whether it's laptop or desktop, or maybe your tablet or any other device that you may use, telephone. Keep all that information there so you'll have it. And if you have all of those electronic devices, put them in all of them. In case one is not available, you have something to lean back on. That's the smart way of doing it. Any kind of information I have in my cell phone, I also have in my computers as well, laptop and desktop. So I just want to keep all information there, and you don't want to miss anything. And so keep that in mind. So let me give you that the email address once again. It's frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. Telephone at 641 715 3900, extension 467134. That's 641 715 3900, extension 467134. We'll be looking forward to hearing from you. I always do. As you already know, ICE is still on the move. ICE is in Chicago now, where they told them, "Don't come here. We don't want you here." And a lot of other cities are saying it too. "We don't want you here. Don't come here. You're not needed here. You're not wanted here. Let the police do their job." But ICE is on the move. ICE came to Chicago. And those of you who know that and kept up with the news also know for a fact that ICE in Chicago and the people in Chicago are picketing. They're raising their voices higher and higher, and it's the domino effect is taking place and going to other cities. You saw it happen in Los Angeles, and right now in Chicago, they're out there every day holding up their signs. Talking about the administration, how bad it is for the country, things like that. They're making their voices be heard, which we all should if we all have a platform. Like this platform, for instance, you don't have to have a platform like this to get your voice out there. You can do everyone has a platform. You can create your own platform. Nevertheless, in Chicago, that's what's happening. They're doing a lot of demonstrations. And you heard about the story too, that a lady went out grocery shopping. This happened about a week or so ago. A lady went out with her daughter grocery shopping because she wanted to buy food so she could cook and feed her family for that evening. Her daughter wandered off somewhere while she went someplace else. And when her daughter got back, found that her mother was gone. And her mother just happened to be in the hands of ICE that picked her up and took her away. Why did they do that? Oh, come on. Can you guess why they did that? Maybe because she was Latin America, and it didn't matter whether or not she was a citizen of this country. It didn't matter. She was a brown Latin American woman. They just took her off away. I don't know the status of today, where she is or what she's doing or where her daughter is. I haven't got the status of that, but it's a shame when you have to walk out of your house, getting ready to prepare a meal for your family, and find out that you're never coming back. And that's the sad part about the whole thing. And so that's what happened there. And I looked, I said this last night on the show too. I looked, as you go through Facebook, everybody is viewing their things. Everybody's going on their cell phones and making videos and talking about this whole thing. It's more than ever now because everybody's creating their own platform. You don't have to have a platform like this. They're just creating things. And this one particular lady, I'm not going to mention her name, but I like everything she said. She was really firm with her mouth, though, but she got a point across. And she said one thing that stuck with me. She said that when these people come into your city, she says, don't worry about it because there's nothing to them and there's nothing to be afraid of. And I I looked at that and it reminded me when I saw this video that occurred this past Tuesday in New York, because ICE is here now in New York. And those of you who live in New York are familiar with 26 Federal Plaza, which is the Jacob Javits Federal Building, which houses a lot of government agencies, including ICE. And this lady who I believe was from the Caribbean. She had the Caribbean accent, and she was cursing them out because ICE came up to her, wanted to know who she was, why she was here in immigration, probably doing the right thing. Like most people go to immigration to do the right thing to keep up their status so they could stay in this country. And she got angry. She started cursing at them and calling them names and daring them to arrest her, and she wasn't afraid at all. And they didn't touch her. She even went into the guy's face, and the guy told her to shut up. First of all, you can't tell anyone to shut up. You're not taking free speech from anyone. You can't tell people to shut up. Told her to shut up. Do you want to go to jail? And she says, go ahead, lock me up. Do what you have to do. Lock me up. She was not afraid. So uh, it's happening everywhere, and it's coming to other cities. And even people in New York are not taking. They're picketing. They're doing this and doing that. It's a fight, but it's nothing to be afraid of, as the lady said. Nothing to be afraid of. One of these days, when it's all over, remember that it's not going to snap back to normal that quickly. It's going to take years and years before we get back to normal. This is not normal. I have movies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to do them right quickly. I have 3 this week, so you can watch. I want to add to your list to watch movies. The original Frankenstein from 1931 with Colin Clive, May Clark, and John Bowles is coming on Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You also have Streetcar Named Desire from 1952. Vivian Leigh, Marlon Brando, and Kim Hunter appears in that one. Turner Classic Movies. You can see that Sunday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. And Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds from 1963, starring Rod Taylor, Tippi Hedren, and Jessica Tandy. Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 10:15 p.m. Eastern. Now you go to Turner Classic Movies and you can check out other movies like the free movies, pay-per-view, documentaries, children programs, sporting events, all of those things. And if you don't get a chance to see these movies in real time, if you still have your cable box, DVR it and watch it at your own time convenience. Let me repeat these movies once again. Frankenstein, Colin Clive, May Clark, and John Bowles, Turner Classic Movies, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then you have Streetcar Named Desire with Vivian Leigh, Marlon Brando, Kim Hunter, Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. And The Birds with Rod Taylor, Tippi Hedren, and Jessica Tandy. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 10:15 p.m. I hope you get a chance to watch these movies. They're all classics. Two of them are color, black and white. Frankenstein and Streetcar Named Desire is black and white, and The Birds is in color. Check it out this week and other movies that you may like when you go to Turner Classic Movies. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. My weekend is underway officially, and yours is coming up next. But we'll be back here on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live. Brian Camp is going to be along with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. I hope you will be here too. We'll have a lot of fun on that. And then come back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the coffee hour. And of course, Brian Camp also will be back here with the latest developments in today's world of sports update. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us on Facebook, go immediately after the show to my YouTube channel and subscribe to it. It's free, and I really would appreciate that. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day and a great weekend, and we'll catch you back here soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.